Good morning and welcome to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. My name is Karen Garrett, not Miss I'm hoping that you're having a good morning and that you're ready to learn something to do with hands and illustration and character development. All right, so get a piece of paper and a pencil and an eraser. Where did my eraser go? Well, go get a paper, pencil, and eraser and come right back, okay? Okay, so do you remember from yesterday that everything is based upon your head, like the measurements for the fashion figure, and then for character development, we stretch it or shrink the sections. Well, for the hand, remember, and the feet, it's only 3/4 of the head. So we're going to just make one section, and we're going to draw a big hand. So let me show you what I'm saying. Do 2 lines at the top and the bottom, kind of make it long, and we'll be working in that area. Now I'm going to change the camera angle in just a second, but what I want you to do with me is take your hand, okay, make a fist. I'm going to try to hold my hand like that. Let me turn, wait. Okay, make a fist. So see, a fist like that. Okay, so it's wider here and skinnier at the wrist. Remember, your wrist is the smallest place in your arm, and if you turn your hand that way, it's wider here and skinnier at the wrist. Okay, so if you look at it like that and it gets skinnier, then it kind of looks like a cowbell, and I want you to go like that with your wrist. Touch this with the top of your finger like that. You can feel it's flat. A lot of people think that your wrist is an oval. It's really not. It's a box. It's called a wrist box. Now go to the sides like that. You can feel the edges of the box. It's like a little rectangle. And then it's flat on the bottom. So 2 flat on the top and the bottom, and then flat on the sides. That's your wrist box, okay? And then this looks like a cowbell. So we're going to draw a cowbell, okay? So let me change the angle. Before I change the angle, I have to tell you something. So do your cowbell. Make a cowbell. Bong, 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 bong. Okay? All right. Now, I want you to measure. This is kind of funny because when I tell people to measure this, they go like this. What? Like that. So put your thumb on your wrist, and that's when people start going like this. Because they can't figure out what they're doing. Put your thumb on your wrist box, okay? Right there on the wrist box. And then your middle finger to the first knuckle. Yeah, I know. I can just visualize your faces going like this. Ding. Okay, so get your measurement there. Now, watch this. You know, remember how we do the clamps where it's not like big, little, littler? Okay, so get that clamp, get it fixed, open your whole hand up, and then keep the clamp and go like that. It's the same length. Isn't that super cool? Your fingers are half, and the top part of your hand, where your palm is half. So your knuckles are exactly at half. Now do this. Okay? Everyone's like, what? Okay, got a fist. Now, measure, take your first finger to your middle knuckle and your thumb to right there, that knuckle, and get that measurement. Now open your hand and go like that. It's exactly half. Oh my gosh. So the cowbell is half of the whole hand. The first set of knuckles is half of the whole finger. That's so neat. How long have we been ourselves and we didn't even know that? All right, so next thing I'm going to show you real quick before we start to draw, because I'm going to change the camera angle, is when we're going to draw straight across like this for your cowbell, but it's really, if you go like that, it's kind of a, well, let's go like that. It's kind of a curve, like a slight little U, not even like the bird bowl for your chin. And then when we do the bottom of your hand, your shortest finger is your thumb, then your pinky, your longest one is the middle finger, and it kind of makes a curved off V. See what I'm saying? So a little slight curve here that we're going to draw straight across first, the cowbell. then we're going to make a U, then we're going to make a V. This right here is a bigger U, so right at the half. So the first thing we're going to do is wrist box, cowbell, straight across. Then we're going to make the slight U. We're going to draw our knuckles. Then we're going to go down to this one, and we're going to make a bigger U. Then we're going to go down to that one and make a V, a curvy V. Okay? So now I'm going to change the angle. Okay. Small up here, we're going to do we're going to go like this and like this. Oh, actually, let's mark the middle. Just make a little dotted line where the middle is. So mine's too wide. So if you can visualize your whole hand, like there's your hand, then for a fashion figure, the wrist needs to be a lot smaller. For a real hand, that's perfect. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, perfect. But we're going to make a fashion hand. Fashion hands are a lot longer and leaner, so we're going to have to skinny up our wrist box. Make it skinny. Two little lines, really the same, parallel to each other, and then the bottom. So that's the top, bottom, side, side. Okay, do that. Now, we're going to make our cowbell skinnier here, wider there, but let's not be ridiculous. Like, we don't want to make our hand that wide and then wind up with a cowbell that wide, right? That's not good. So you have to eyeball it like I just did and go, oh no, so don't draw too dark yet. And so if I go down and I say, okay, that's the width of my wrist box, but it has to be wider than that, then how about if I go to there and maybe there? See if that works. Because remember, we're trying to do long and lean. This is a female hand at this point. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so then this line is going to have to be parallel to this one and this one, and wider, so that it kind of widens out. Okay, so that's your cowbell, bong bong. Now remember what I told you, we're going to do a slight U from here to here. Not doing our thumb yet. So to get that done. So like we already talked about, half is the palm of the hand and half are the fingers, okay? So remember when we measured from the middle knuckle to this one right here, and we went like that? That's half. So really eyeball it and go, that's half. Now some people do this. Here's the line, we're trying to find half, and they really will go like that's half, like as if this is equal to that. You know, it isn't. So if you have to turn the paper and put your hands like that and then make a dot, you know what I mean, so that you can actually see it, and then measure it with your finger and your other finger like this, then you want it to be equal. If it's not equal, then it won't turn out right. So this is a slight U, then we're going to do a nice curvier U. But it does not touch anything. Get to that place and then I will come back. I hope you did a good job on that. So now remember, your longest finger is the middle finger, and your thumb's the shortest, and the second shortest is the little pinky. So come down from this middle place, that's going to be your longest finger. Just come down to there, and that's where we're going to try to aim for our little V. Now notice I did not touch this nice beautiful U. This is a light curve, a nice beautiful U, and now we're doing the V. So kind of a straight line, don't curve, we're trying to make a V. V has a straight line on either side. It's a wide V, but again, it doesn't touch, it doesn't touch. So just keep going out. Okay. Now, I'm going to change the angle of the camera so that I can talk to you face to face. Just a second. I hope it's working out for you. It's working out for me too. So now, I know that we have another, let's see what you can see, another knuckle right there in the end, and some of you are double jointed. I'm not really double jointed. So, but we don't do that knuckle in fashion, okay? So in realism, yes, but not in fashion. So now we don't walk around with our hands like this. Hey. We don't do that, right? What do we do? Well, we curve our hands. We curve our hands. Curve our hands. We curve our hands. We curve our hands. We curve our hands. Okay, so we bend our hands. We don't just stand there like this, like a robot. So we don't want our hands to look like a spider when we're finished, or an octopus. And we have to have them bend somehow, pretty much always. Or you can go like that, maybe for some of your fashion poses, but not, you don't necessarily do it like this, you know, or like that. So let me show you some octopus hands. Let me show you what people do wrong and what we can avoid, okay? Okay, octopus hands are when the wrist is basically the same size as the bottom of your cowbell. People do a good job pretty much doing the curve. Then they'll do a nice little U, which is good, and a really nice V. And then somehow they'll do this. And I call that octopus hands. Don't do octopus hands. One of the other mistakes people do, now you can do octopus hands if you're going to do a character. So, but this is the way you do octopus hand. And then if you want to do the spider hands, people do this. They'll do pretty well with this part. They'll do pretty well with that part. They'll do pretty well there. Okay, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is going to look great. And then they go something like, I'm going to put little teeth. That's a spider teeth. Okay, so for characters, that's spider hands. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is, if we go straight out, then we have this. Remember, you know that thing? We don't want to do that. So we have to have our knuckles. You know that you have 4 on the top of your cowbell. So that's the middle. Divide it in half, and I promise you people do this. That's half. Oops. That's half, and then those are the same size. No, they're not. Come on. Use your eyeballs. So here we go. And we're going to do a nice oval on that line. It's going to be your knuckle. Okay, leave your thumb alone. Now, we're going to come in just slightly. Like if you have to do yourself a dotted line, you can even use your ruler. That's not what you want. And that's not what you want. But you want to come in just 1 degree, you know, a little bit. Come to right there. Now, if this was, see this is our straight line. If we go straight, no, we don't want that. We're going from this knuckle now. This is the outside of that knuckle. This one's going to curve in slightly, just a little bit. This knuckle now, come off that line a little bit. We're curving over slightly. This one, curving over slightly. Okay. Now, if we kept on going, we don't want to do that because people don't walk around with their hands like that. And in fashion, you want it to look pretty, so you're going to add, you can come in 1 more degree. Come across that dotted line, come in just a little bit. Come in just a little bit. Okay. And now we can finish. So at this point, we're going to add fingernails later. You curve it around, and you go, okay, well, let me see. It has to be wide enough this one's your long one. Get some of that erased off. Okay, so you've got that done. We're going to, if this goes like that, we're going to come in just a little bit with your thumb, and that's the dotted line keeps going. You're going to go in just a little bit more, and you're going to curve your beautiful little thumb. It's a little poochy part of your thumb, and then it connects to your hand. I should have moved my V over a little bit. This is my longest finger right there. So let me do my V a little bit better over here. There we go. That's better. There you go. There we go. Okay. I want that a little bit smaller. Like it? Okay. So now at this point you're going to do a little curve. Come up high. A little curve. And then you can come down over the end of the finger. Make yourself some nice fingernails. And then, you know, you can bling out your fingernails and make them really cute like people do nowadays. Put flowers on them and blingy stuff. But I'm going to teach you about jewelry, and that kind of goes in that category another day. So if you look at your hand and it looks funny, don't worry about it. It's your first try. You can go back and erase some of this stuff. We'll add rings and other good things later. But pretty much that's how you do a fashion hand. And when you're doing the fashion hand, they're usually so small. That's why it looks a little funky now. But when you make them teeny, teeny, weeny, then you have to simplify, but that's how you do it. Okay? Okay, so let's go back to the body that we worked on. And I moved my V over like I had it too far to the left because this finger was too short, so I lengthened that finger and I thought it looked better. Okay, so let's do this. If here's the 3/4 of the head, this is half. So from here to here, I'm just going to eyeball and say that's half. Okay, and we're going to do the girl hand here. Cowbell. It gets wider for the thumb. Oh, oops, thumb's on the inside. Don't make that mistake. Thumbs are on the inside. Okay, so cowbell. This will be the hand on this side. So let's just draw the hand so that you can see how it goes. So let's go here, here, comes up, and that's your thumb. Curve it off slightly. Do the bigger U here. You'll see what I'm talking about when these need to be simplified. Okay, so then, ooh, got too close there. A V. Okay, so I'm going to come in slightly, in. I'm not going to do my knuckles because it's just too tiny. And then my thumb. And then you can circle it off and add fingernails, but you're going to need a lot smaller pencil than this, and that's how you get them on there, and then you'd have to erase it all back, and it will look like something like, I wish I had a sharper pencil, and I don't even have a pencil sharpener here. Oh my gosh, my pencil's too fat. Well, anyway, you have a way probably to sharpen. Let's do that. Here, put your knuckle. for you. Nice V. See if I can get this one on the side. I'll just mark it in there, and then I really wish I had a sharper pencil. But okay, so that's how you do it. And we're going to, that's just the beginning, and then once we get that down, we can do more advanced. Anyway, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, thank you for coming to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. I've had a wonderful time with you. Just remember that God loves you, and have fun doing this, and we love you too. Have a great day.